You may have heard all this hubbub about Steam Deck verified games. What the heck are these? Why do they matter? Well, I'll tell you what they are. They're games that are either made to work extremely well on the Steam Deck, or games that just work really well on the Steam Deck without any issue. It should just be like playing a game on console, but instead you're playing PC games. But is the system perfect? And is it worth caring about? If you like my content, please like, subscribe, share with your friends, and join my Discord server in the description below. What is Steam Deck Verified? Essentially, it's Valve's grading system on how well a game will work on Steam Deck. There's 4 different final ratings that a game can be given. The first of which is Verified. It's got a green check mark beside it, so you know it's gonna work out of the box. It's the closest thing PC gaming has to a "it just works" thing. Next is Playable. As you can see, it's got a little yellow logo right there. Basically, it means that the game will work, but it may need a little manual tweaking to get working. It also may be missing a few criteria needed to be a verified game. Next is Unsupported. It means the game will not work on Steam Deck. The game just does not function. By default, all VR games will be considered unsupported. And finally, Unknown. That just means Valve hasn't tested the game out yet. Considering there's a good 55,000 games on Steam, I would expect most to remain unknown for a while. I've alluded to the fact that devs will need to fulfill certain requirements for their games to become Steam Deck verified. The exact requirements are listed in Valve's Steamworks documentation, and they are as follow. A game must have basic controller support. If your game's an RTS with, say, no controller scheme, then you're kind of out of luck. Controller glyphs. Button prompts should match the Steam Deck's or a regular Xbox 360 controller's prompts. Devs are suggested to use Steam Input to make this process a lot easier, and to support multiple controllers. Text input. When you need to type things in for a game, an on-screen keyboard should automatically pop up. Players cannot be forced to use a hardware keyboard or manually pull up the on-screen keyboard. Resolution support. Developers must support 1280 by 800 or 1280 by 720. These are both resolutions that the Steam Deck supports. Default configuration. The game must ship with a default configuration on deck that results in a playable frame rate. Text legibility. In-game text should be readable from 12 inches away from the screen. According to Valve, on-screen font should never fall below 9 pixels in height at the proper resolution. Valve just recommends you add options that change the size of text. No compatibility warnings. Basically, the game shouldn't tell you that the deck isn't supported. Games with launchers must have their launchers follow the same criteria as the game itself. And these requirements are the difference between a playable game and a Steam Deck verified game. If there are significant issues with a game, such as it not launching, or perhaps cutscenes don't work, etc., it will be marked as unsupported. It is worth mentioning that these Steam Deck ratings aren't permanent. I don't see a lot of games getting worse Steam Deck support, but I do see a lot of games getting deck verified in the future. Of course, just because a Steam Deck game is verified doesn't mean that there's not weird issues, and that's what I want to talk about today. If you look at Dark Souls 3, Dark Souls 3 is verified, but at the bottom you'll see there's 2 notes. The first note is that Dark Souls 3 does not support cloud saves. It's been this way since launch. A lot of people just assume all Steam games will support Steam Cloud. That's not always the case. Games like Starbound don't support cloud saves because, simply put, it has to generate a literal infinite universe. Same deal with Noita, and Noita is also Steam Deck verified. The second note on Dark Souls page is that this game does not support external controllers for the primary player. What the heck does that mean? Basically, due to how Dark Souls 3 is programmed, whatever controller it sees first will become player 1. It will become mildly annoying if you try to dock the Steam Deck and play with, like, another controller. I believe Subnautica also has this issue as well. There's a couple of ways around it right now. Most of them involve using Steam Input to get around this. I can't say I'm a huge fan. I have a proposal for Valve. I think Valve should make a docked mode. The Steam Deck should try to figure out if it's docked or not, and if it detects that it is docked, well, it should basically disable the controls on the device itself. I feel like that would be the best way to get around this issue. And there's one more thing I should mention to my Steam Input faithfuls. A game being Steam Deck verified does not guarantee that you'll have mixed input. Of course, by mixed input, I mean mixed controller and mouse input. There isn't really much that can be done on that front, I'm afraid. Apparently Mad Max does not support mixed input. Gonna be real, I don't own Mad Max, so I can't really test this out for myself, but it is kind of unfortunate. And once online multiplayer shooters start getting Steam Deck verified, you can forget about mixed input in those games. There's also the fact that some games switch button prompts upon moving your mouse immediately. Risk of Rain 2 and Dishonored come to mind. With these two games, well, mixed input does work, but button prompts will change, which is mildly annoying. On January 19th, 2022, a lot of Steam games got their verification ratings. Of the 68 games that had their scores released, about over half of them were Steam Deck verified. Another 20 were Steam Deck playable, and a few were just unsupported. Here's an exhaustive list of games that were Steam Deck verified. Death Stranding, Castle Crashers, Dishonored, Mad Max, The Binding of Isaac Rebirth, Cuphead, Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin, Hollow Knight, Dark Souls 3, Ape Out, Manifold Garden, Celeste, Guacamelee 2, Into the Breach, Psychonauts 2, Risk of Rain 2, Rad, The Messenger, Scarlet Nexus, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, Mark of the Ninja Remastered, Tunch, Death's Door, Tetris Effect Connected, Final Fantasy, Gunfire Reborn, Rogue Legacy 2, Hot Wheels Unleashed, Aliens Fireteam Elite, Total War Warhammer 2, Remnant from the Ashes, Sable, Noita, Super Mega Baseball 3, Circuit Superstars, Record of Lodos War, Deedlit and Wonder Labyrinth, Webbed, Portal 2. Here's the list of Steam Deck playable games: War Thunder, Crypt of the Necrodancer, Subnautica, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, RimWorld, Rise of the Tomb Raider, Factorio, Nier Automata, Stormworks Build and Rescue, Slay the Spire, Farming Simulator 19, Tribes of Midgard, Among Trees, Inscription, Black Skylands, Sword of Legends Online, Bravely Default 2, Cookie Clicker, Plants vs. Zombies Game of the Year Edition, Season of Mystery, The Cherry Blossom Murders, Tomb Raider, Valheim, Dyson Sphere Program, Cats in Time. And finally, here's the list of games that are just straight up unsupported: Arizona Sunshine, Budget Cuts, Job Simulator, The Blue, Persona 4 Golden. So for most of the games on this list, we all know that VR games will be unsupported. Persona 4 Golden is notably the only non-VR game on this list that's unsupported. Part of the biggest issue causing Persona 4 to be marked as unsupported is that cutscene files just do not play. It has to do with the game's reliance on Windows codecs, which are not available on Linux. According to some anonymous devs I've spoken with, Valve is cooking up something behind the scenes, especially for situations like this. Who knows? Maybe in a month Persona 4 will be not only playable but also deck verified. Here's to hoping we see more deck verified games be released.